You were busy in the kitchen making breakfast when you felt a pair of hands hugging you from the back, and you definitely knew who it was. Your sweet husband, Taehyung. Is it ready, ma'am? Yes, sir. Take a seat, please. It'll be served in a second. He giggled on your reply, kissed your neck, and went to sleep. You served the breakfast, and both of you started to have it together. Hey, you should come home a bit early today. I have to do some shopping, so... Yes, ma'am. I'll be here early. He looks at you with a professional face. Hush, stop saying this, you. You what? You handsome. He. Okay, handsome's princess. He winked at you. After the breakfast was finished, you went upstairs to bring some of his files that he forgot. Well, he was about to go, but got a call from someone. How are you, brother? Don't you dare to call me your brother. Oh, why? Come on, you should act like my big brother and handle me some of the property too. Oh, so it's about that again. What else? Did you think that I missed you, huh? Yeah, stop calling me Hyung with your filthy mouth. And secondly, the property was never meant to be yours because I am the only heir of it and only son of my father. Even if you are, then why didn't father give it to you? He evil smiled behind the phone. Don't you dare to call me again. He cut the call and you came down with his files that moment. You were about to go with these. You said while panting heavily. Oh, I really forgot about these. What to worry when you have such a super nice wifey. He patted your head. I'm a little shy. Okay, time to go now. He looked at the watch. Okay, remember to come early, okay? I do, ma'am. Here we go again. He then gave you a quick kiss and left for work. The person on the phone was Tae's stepbrother. And Tae's father remarried after his mother's death. Please, don't take it serious. That woman already had one child, and then he grew up with Tae. But they both were totally different from each other. It seemed like they were just together with Tae's father for property and money, and had used many of their plans from time to time to get the property. But as Tae was the only and the real child of him, so he named a big proportion of his property as Tae's. Though he gave some of it to them, but it was too less than that compared to Tae's, as his father also got to know about their reality later. Now, as you see that he wanted to give him a large proportion of his property to him, which he does not deserve, and he is not a good person at all. Here, after Tae cut his call, he was sitting with his gang members and immediately decided to do something to Tae. And I don't want any mistake. Got it? Yes, sir. And one more thing. Don't harm him until I tell you to. Yes, sir. Now go, do your job. I'll be there. With that, they all left. They were about to nab Tae. Here, as soon as he left for the office, he was stopped at a gunpoint on his way and was nabbed by making him unconscious. They tied him up and placed in the car trunk behind. After that, the men called him to inform about it. Boss, we have done that. Bravo. I knew you guys will do it in the blink of an eye. Thank you, boss. I'm on my way to that place. You better reach quick. I'm missing my brother. He even laughed. Here you were waiting for Tae as you told him to come home early. He also agreed. But it's getting late now, so you decided to give him a phone call. You called him, but your first call was rejected. You tried again, and now the phone was switched off. This immediately made you worry, as he never did this before. He always prioritized you in every situation. Even in his important meetings, he would pick up your call. You stood up and decided to go to his office to check if he's doing okay or not. As you reached the office building, the receptionist greeted you immediately. She asked about how are you doing and then asked you about Tae. Why is Sir not here today? We have really important meetings today. Don't tell me that you also don't know. What? I myself came here to find if he's okay or not, or if he's even here or not. Huh? Then where did Sir go? I don't know. He left in the morning for here, and I told him to come early. Now that he didn't, I called him, but his phone is switched off. Relax, ma'am. Maybe some important business came up, and he forgot to tell us. I'll ask his secretary. Okay, but I'm afraid this is something really new, as he never did this before. Relax, please. She went to his secretary and asked him about Tae, but he didn't know too, even if he wanted to know himself too. This rain waves of worry all over the building. You tried a lot to get his information from here and there, but nobody knew. You even asked police to look for him, and they were trying too. You waited the whole day in the building for him, but he didn't come. Your heart was aching, your tears were falling non-stop, and your body was shivering with fear and worry. At last, everybody left the building, and one of the staffs left you home too. Some of your old mates got to know about your situation, and they ran to help you. As Tae regained his consciousness, he found himself tied up in a chair in an abandoned, dark place. Welcome, Kim Taehyung. He emphasized the word hyung. What would you like to have? Coffee, tea, or something in soft drinks? Tae was quiet and was processing slowly. He was attentively listening to his words to recognize the voice. Are you fine, brother? That didn't hurt you, right? He bent down and touched Tae's face. I didn't know you can go for such a cheap act. I didn't want to either, but you were making me to go for such things. Isn't that enough if you would got free? Tae turned his face away from him. No, it isn't what I need. Then go on with how much you need yourself. With that, he hit Tae's face. Tae looked at him in disbelief. Bring the documents, he shouted. One of his men brought the documents and placed them in front of Tae. He untied his hands and asked him to sign. Sign here. Never in your dreams. Are you sure? Okay. Do whatever you want, but I won't let you go without signing these. Mark my words. He then called his men and asked them, spread the news. While Tae looked at them confused. What news? I think your beautiful wife won't handle this. He gave him an eerie smirk. The maids comforted you and told you to hope for the good things. You wiped your tears off and unknowingly turned on the TV as it was your habit to watch something that time. As it turned on, a news channel popped up on it. Breaking news. Today there was a plane crash accident near place, and many people have lost their life. According to the sources, one of the most famous businessmen, Kim Taehyung, was also present in it as he was flying from this to this for some business matter. And that was the time when you lost control over yourself. You began to scream as if gone mad. The maids were also there. They began to cry too. But with that, they were also trying to comfort you, but you were unstoppable. No, this isn't true. My dad is fine. He is fine. You were screaming and crying your heart out. The maids were now unable to control you. In a while, someone from the officials came and knocked the door. You rushed to the door thinking it would be Tae, but he asked you about the funeral ceremony. You slapped him and told him that Tae is not dead. You told your maids to not allow anyone in the house. A few days passed and there was nothing about Tae. The told his family and colleagues at the funeral ceremony, but you were still not accepting it. Your heart was saying again and again that he is alive. You didn't eat for days, you lived as if you were dead, and your health was too affected. A man came and brought food for Tae, and there was no one except them. Eat it there. There? As he looked him in the eyes, some of the memories hit his mind. Are you thinking of what I'm thinking? Yeah, but I can't. But soon Tae realized who he was. No way. How did you end up being here, 𝚁𝙁? They both hugged each other and Joseon cried too. I'm so ashamed to meet you like this. My poor teammate me bring here, Tae. Later, I searched for you everywhere, but you were never to find. Why didn't you tell me about where were you going? I'm sorry, brother. Here, first eat the food, then we'll talk. Tae looked at the food first and then to him. It's safe. I made it myself. Trust me. You must be hungry. Do you have a phone? I have to call my wife. No, that's Anafa. Takes our phones whenever we're working for him. Tell me other way I can help you. Well, do you have access to that documents? Yes. Can you change it with other documents that looks like that? Yes, I can do anything to take you out from here. Thank you, June. You have come like an angel in such a critical time for me. Don't worry, everything will be fine. He patted Tae's head and treated his wounds. Well, if you're wondering who he is Tae's childhood friend. They were true friends, they studied together, they were always like brothers to each other. But later, Joseon got vanished, though they searched for him everywhere but couldn't find him. Now they're together once again. He joined this gang to overcome his poverty, but he didn't agree to do any illegal job but only cook for them and as a driver, as they pay more than usual. The next day. Well, I think you have learned some lesson. I need to check your wife. I wonder if she is alive or not. She is fine, I know. Not everyone is a coward like you. Oh, then shall I take her somewhere too? With that, Tae got angry and banged the chair with his hand. Don't you dare to do that or else you will regret your whole life. Finally got to a weak point. I'm such a fool. Why didn't I think of it earlier? He smacked his own head slowly. Yes, you are a fool. Don't you dare to act smart now. I have no time to waste. Sign the documents or lose your beautiful wife. Okay, bring the documents. Huh? He himself got you. What did you say? I said bring the documents. Can't you hear? I should have said and done this earlier. With that, he signaled one of his men to bring the documents. He handed the documents to Tae and Tae signed them, with glancing it a bit and smiled a bit inside. He was relieved because his friend had already exchanged the documents with other ones. Though they seemed like the original ones, but they were not real. As soon as Tae signed the documents, he extended his hands towards him. Untie it. Okay, loser. Little did he know he himself is a loser. He untied Tae fully and asked him to go by himself. He gave Tae his phone, but it was broken by him. It was of no use now. After a day and a half, Tae managed to reach home. You were lying weakly on a couch and the bell rang. The men were cooking in the kitchen as they didn't hear it. Also, you didn't want to disturb them, so you got up slowly and opened the door. As you opened the door, you could see Taehyung standing in front of you. You immediately lost control over yourself, hugged him and started crying very loud. You called all the men loudly to see that he came back. See, everyone see, I told you all that he is fine. They were crying too and nodded at your words. You have become so weak. You touched his face, observing him. You too, baby. Okay then, let me give you a bath first and then we'll eat. You? Soon you realize the presence of mates. I mean, You should take it yourself, Tae. I think I had it wrong first. Everyone laughed there. He then came down for food, but you still didn't ask him a single thing. Let me feed you. Open your mouth. Ah, so weak, so weak. No, let me feed you. You're weak as well. Okay, we'll feed each other. And the maid stood there smiling and admiring you both. After that, Tae slowly explained you everything and you explained what happened with you. They loved listening about his funeral. You both then cuddled and kissed a lot. Tae came out and called someone. Hello? It's time for revenge. And that was the end. Thank you so much for watching.